My name is Roffle, and I am prepared to gaze into the great dark beyond.
My name is Clark HELLSCREAM, and I'm ready to see what lies beyond. So what I've seen is some awesome card work and awesome arts recently, and I have to say that if the cards are as cool as the card arts, I think we're in for a good expansion.
I mean, I've seen the neutrals already, so if that's any indication of what the set's going to be like, I think we're in a good spot, and we're maybe going to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, what do you think of the neutrals so far? Because you just saw them recently.
Right, I saw a 100 mana card that I want to wholly wrap my opponent in the face with.
Yeah, I imagine there's some complications with some cards like that.
No.
You
say complications, I say excitement.
See, I'm ready for decisions and agency to matter. And from what I can tell with this 100 mana card, if it happens to you, you kind of deserve it. And yeah, I'm always for well-deserved, losses and victories.
Yeah, talking about agency and Hearthstone, you're going to be popular on Twitter and Reddit after this video. YouTube comments are going to love you.
Oh, let's go, my class. All right.
Show me what's going to break Shadow Step this time. All right, Eredar Skulker. Combo and Spellburst gain +2 attack and stealth. This feels like a combination of a lot of different rogue cards that we've seen before, and some of them were surprisingly powerful, like the one that gains attack and has when it attacks.
It has immune, right?
Yeah. But the fact that it's combo and Spellburst means seems like you can double proc this, so you're getting, 5 attack on a 2-mana card?
That is actually kind of crazy, the fact that you can combo it, you can attack with it, and then you can spell burst it and then get stealth again, so you can kind of set up the next turn as well. That's a great utilization of that as well.
True.
And the fact that this all goes into the Starship, so the Starship having...
Well, no, that one's just a regular demon.
Yeah.
But you're talking about setting up these cute plays with Spellburst and giving it stealth. I just want to shove 5 damage to my opponent's face every time I get this down and attacking.
Good tempo rogue, yeah. Something I'm kind of noticing about these Starship cards is that a lot of them are below 3 mana, so Scoundrel is going to be really good because it's just so much mana cheating you can do.
Well, yeah, Scoundrel is just always going to be good though. So I haven't taken a look at the Starship pieces yet. We've got Scrounging Shipwright, Death Rattle, get a random Starship piece from another class, so a little bit of burgling action.
With the Starships as well, and some of them have some really wacky abilities already. So
right, but you're actually getting 2 pieces from this because the first piece dies, it goes into the Starship, then you get another piece.
I know there's some stuff like this in Wild, but in Standard there's not a lot of rogue Death Rattle manipulation, right? They don't have that weapon, for example.
No, not right now, but again, the Death Rattle manipulation, I think, is it going back into the Starship, right? So you get a little bit more value off of it.
And then you have the 1-mana card, Starship Schematic, discover a Starship piece of another class. This just feels like stick up for Rogue, where it's they're just really going to be able to utilize this mechanic a lot better than other classes because they can steal very consistently other pieces.
Yeah, that's kind of the Rogue identity at this point, I guess, is
play your cards better than you.
Yeah, scamming from other classes.
Hey, at least it's not Priest doing it, am I right? Yeah, we got a reference here with Barrel Roll. Deal 5 damage to an undamaged character. Costs 1 when you're building a Starship.
Do a barrel roll!
So just 1 mana, deal 5. Good removal. Probably wouldn't go face with it, but you can.
I mean, I'd point you back to the Eredar Stalker. I'm going face with everything I can with these cards. Why not? Why not 5 damage? It's,
I mean...
we saw this on a card that saw play a lot, way back in Hearthstone, right? There was the 3 mana deal 5, 200 damage.
Shadow Strike?
Something like that, yeah. And that was a playable card without the upside of... being able to cost 1 if you're building a Starship. So if you're building a Starship, or if you're playing around the Starship, you're gonna do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll!
And there is just the tempo of just playing the Skulker on 2 and then barrel roll face and just keep going face, so.
Sure.
Spacerock Collector, 1 mana, 2/1 Draenei. Battlecry, your next combo card costs 1 less. Does this count as Shadow Step?
It's Shadow Step on it. Yeah, you just keep Shadow Stepping it, and you're eventually your combo, your randomly expensive combo card, the Scoundrel will will be nice and cheap. Set up for your Sonya. It'll be 1 mana by the time.
Oh, wait a minute, this with Sonya. Oh god. Oh,
The first instance of it will be ready for Sonya already. But honestly, just a decent tempo play, right?
Yeah, the card arts on this next one though, Quasar. Oh my god.
Shuffle your hand into your deck. Reduce the cost of cards in your deck by 3. So it's kind of like an academic espionage, but then you're doing it with cards that you're playing on purpose.
This has to enable something, because first of all, it's 6 mana, so you can prep this out by turn 4. But the issue is you're shuffling your hand into your deck, and then you have nothing.
Well,
so
yeah, but what you have to remember is that Rogue has infinite card draw for infinite mana, so it just gets those cards right back. You're just setting up
it does, but if you have to like have something immediately after
Yeah.
this, that's not in your hand. So it's like you have to have like a gold panner or something on the field in order to start getting that draw engine. But
Right.
once you do get that one card, you can start doing the ridiculous combos. And with Rogue cards, like most of the decks are like 4 mana or less. So this is essentially 6 mana, make your deck cost 0.
Yeah.
That may have some. I might be a little scared of that, but if the card draw is there and it's Rogue, there's probably a way to bust this.
In the past, there's been like the shuffle into your deck like mechanic for Rogue too. So in Wild you have some things that you can use to fetch these cards as well as benefit from them being in your deck. But then there's just also like goofy like long-term plays that you can set up with this, and Rogue does have prep, so you can get this down a little bit earlier rather than shuffling the prep in. So
imagine if Secret Passage was still 1. I'm sorry to traumatize you.
Yeah,
that face is
I've lived in that world for long enough already. Don't do that to me. Don't bring those memories back.
All right, Lucky Comet. Discover a combo minion. The next one you play trigger its combo twice. Oh, hey, SI7 agent. Let's go. This guy's toast twice.
True. So it's like basically a brand for your next combo minion, or works with the spells as well. There's the the dubious.
Yeah, this with dubious purchase is actually really good.
You get to take out 2 minions, maybe take out some of the RNG involved with that.
Well, there's your card draw engine.
Oh wait, it does say the next one you play, so that's probably referring to a combo minion. So it might not work with the dubious purchase.
That's actually a good question. Does this work with minions?
Minion.
Or does it work with spells?
Okay.
Minions.
What does this work with though? Battlecry combo minions. There's the bounty card that can give you a bunch of coins in Wishing Well.
Sure.
That doesn't sound insane, but it's an idea.
I mean, you turn those coins into 1 mana legendaries, and that's gonna generate some value. So, like that deck wants to have as many coins in its hand as possible by the time it gets to Wishing Well. So that could be something.
Or you can honestly just there's this next card: pressure points, deal 3 damage to a minion, reduce the cost of your combo cards in hand by 1. So even if there is like a pretty expensive combo card or combo minion, there might be a way of utilizing this. But I honestly just can't remember the combo cards right now. They're not really utilized that much in standards. So
Right, but if they are going to be used, these are some pretty good enablers to make them, to justify putting them in your deck and playing them.
yeah, Rogue really going all in on the mana cheating so far.
Yeah. So what else?
Getting
is new?
so much value. Oh, hello.
When this is okay, the Gravitational Displacer, which is a Starship.
Excuse me, I am very happy to mess with this kind of card. Anything that says summon a copy automatically has my heart. Let's go.
Oh yeah, so you duplicate your Starship. Wow. I mean, not great upfront value, but the whole point of it is to get it into your Starship so that you get long-term value, right? So, a little bit difficult for Rogue to play those value game plans, but maybe that's where the, that 6 mana spell can come back into play and go for that long-term plan.
And
But either way, that's a whole, like the Starship itself is a whole bunch of value. You're then doubling it up with the Gravitational Displacer. That's kind of
not to mention
silly.
that you're stealing all the other pieces. Like who
Right.
knows like how insane doubling up the other classes cards can be. And double is a very scary word in Hearthstone. It can very easily get out of control.
No, it's never caused any problems before. That'd be silly.
And going on with the double mechanic, 4 mana 4/4 demon, undamaged enemies, take double damage, combo get a backstab. I guess this kind of works with the other card, and this is actually removal for Rogue. That's kind of really good, right?
Right. Yeah. There's your combo card that you want to
0 mana
get
deal
out of
4.
reduced costs. You get Yeah, 0 mana deal 4, but then also if you double it up, the combo effect, you're going to get 2 backstabs. You can clear 2 minions.
Oh, wait a minute. This with like Tar Slick as well? Oh, dude. Rogue is going to have... Like, they have removal and healing now because of the Taurus card too. So it's like, imagine this with the Fel Potion, the one that gives you extra copies.
Right.
So,
right.
or the Fel Drink. Fel Drink,
right,
yeah. So that's just like, that's automatically good as well. And again, you have Tar Slick, so you can double the double.
And you still have Prep and Rogue, so that you're not going to pay the full 3 mana for each one of those drinks every time either.
And we aren't even considering that these cards can be reduced by 3 mana with the Quasar. Oh my. Okay, my brain is cooking. I like these cards so much right now.
You just need some card draw pieces and you're in.
Yeah, honestly.
Bring us back to the auctioneer days with that Quasar. Surely that won't cause some problems.
You know, I was actually someone who liked Auctioneer, but I'm okay to be on the wrong side of history for this.
Well, I think everybody liked Auctioneer. It's just everybody liked it too much, so it got played a little bit too much is the problem.
All right, Shaman Cards.
All right, we've got a Bolide Behemoth. Battlecry, your asteroids deal 1 more damage this game. Shuffle 3 of them into your deck with Spellburst. So this is kind of like the...
Incendious, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love that guy. And my problem is that I can't get the Battlecry to trigger enough times to shuffle enough stuff in, so now I'm shuffling even more stuff in.
Yeah, so It's like you can actually just create a spell damage from deck, spell damage from your card draws and from your deck, and I imagine these work with spell damage like Novice Zapper as well, because it works with the eruptions. But
it does seem to be like, well, we've got 4 cards here that are centered around asteroids, it looks like, so that seems to be a theme for Shaman. You can get a huge density of those asteroids.
And not to mention, these are all battle cries, so these can work with Shutter Block, and then, you know, there's the Incendious deck that runs the Gaslight, what's it called again?
Oh, yeah, the Gaslight Gatekeeper?
Yeah, Gaslight Gatekeeper, so there's even more draw potential. A lot of these nerfs are making sense now, you know? Because, like, there was Psycho Rogue, but now there's this as well. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, with the Shutter Block, too, because the Battle Cry isn't dealing the damage, you can use it to set up big damage turns, and they're all just elemental, so they kind of have this inherent synergy with one another.
Oh, wait a minute, with the buff to the Turbulus, or yeah, now all the elementals are gonna have extra stats as well.
Right, they're all battle cries, they're all elementals, they're all, you know, working towards that same game plan. So maybe Incendious is just like an afterthought, but still a piece of that type of game plan.
It's just kind of like extra damage, you know, extra fodder. And then with the +1/+1, like you have the Turbulus on 3, the Behemoth on 4, so that's just solid curve, and then you have a 4/7 minion on the field.
Right, and they're a little bit understated for like playing towards the board, but that Turbulus buff kind of plays into that pretty nicely.
All right, Meteor Storm. Always love to see Shaman AoE. Deal 5 damage to all minions, shuffle 5 asteroids into the deck. Okay, like this is... I didn't realize that we were playing like Galaga or something like that in Hearthstone.
Yeah, we're gonna test the opponent's ability to pilot their starship through an asteroid field. It's gonna be impressive. But yeah, this looks really cool. It's kind of like a tool to slow things down, which if you're shuffling cards in your deck, you want to have the time to draw them. So, you know, removing your opponent's board through the Meteor Storm up front can give you time to draw into the asteroids.
It's also a nature spell. I don't know if that's going to mean anything with like Flash of Lightning and stuff like that, but I mean, hey, you can technically discount it too.
Well, it's just another discover piece off of the 1 mana spell, right?
Yeah, that's true. And depending on how exactly you want to run that card, like it can be useful just to kind of give yourself some extra resources, or in case you just discover it or something like that. So it's always good to have those extra ways of popping it off.
Okay, but Triangulate, discover a different spell from your deck, shuffle 3 copies of it into your deck.
Oh, what? Okay, hold on.
So you can do that with the Meteor Storm, or you could probably do it with the asteroids, right? Because that counts as a spell.
I'm already thinking of Nature Shaman. Getting 3 extra copies of Crash of Thunder, for example.
We're having a good time here, Clark. What are you doing trying to like make the opponent's life total 0 in 1 turn? We want to do it over multiple turns.
It's the combo player in me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
0 to 100 very quickly.
Be patient. Just let the asteroids build up, and they'll take care of them eventually.
Ooh, Cosmonaut, 7 mana, 5/5. Battle Cry, discover a spell from your deck, reduces cost by 5. Oh, hello, that's 0 mana or 1 mana Meteor Shower.
Yeah, it's also like you run this in maybe the deck with Hagatha that's got the Wave of Nostalgia here. This is another way to fetch it and like autoplay it when you have like a board lead.
That actually is a really good use of this, and I don't know if this would be the greatest in Cliff Shaman because you'd be able to pull it from the deck, but being able to play Cliff Dive for 1 mana, I mean, it could be kind of useful. Worst case scenario, you can always evolve this with the Muck Pools as well. So.
Right, but then you also have a big spell directly below it with Nebula. Discover 2 8-cost minions to summon with Taunt and Elusive. So paying 4 mana for that's pretty good. Quite a bit better than paying 9 mana for it.
I don't know if there's going to be... Wait, it's an arcane spell. How many arcane cards does Shaman have? I don't think this will really matter with Razzle Dazzler, but...
No, I think this is coming out several turns after the Razzle Dazzler, but like... yeah, it could be, I don't know, an interesting... If there's maybe like a slower control style of that deck, that could be worth considering.
I could seriously look into Nebula all day. I absolutely love space, and I seriously, these card arts are just, I cannot praise these enough.
Okay, but if you do that when you're playing against me, that's gonna make me upset because you're gonna be roping me the whole time.
I will not intentionally rope you, I promise.
Okay. we don't want me raging on the official Hearthstone channel.
Yeah, we don't want our first contact to be a deadly one, right? 1 mana, summon 2 random 1-cost minions, overload 1. Okay, so just good tempo. You have... kind of like what you were saying with Wave of Nostalgia, you have this plus a 7-mana card, kind of helps that deck out a lot. The Overload with Jazz Base could be kind of interesting as well for more like mana cheat and discounting, but... Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've already got like token-based decks right now with the Wave of Nostalgia, with the Cookie. This lines up pretty nicely because you overload, you get 2 minions, then you kind of take turn 2 off to set up for your potential Cookie turn, and you can cash in on.
Or if you have coin, you can just like follow it up with Sigil immediately. So not even that much of a drawback.
Right. So there's definitely already a home for this type of card within Shaman, which is nice.
So in Wild, I don't know if this is doable, but maybe there's like a way of setting this up with like a Bioluminescence. I don't really know, but again, this is just me ruining the game. So
there are plenty of ways to get Bioluminescence turns already in Wild. We don't need we don't need help from First Contact. But there's also Planetary Navigator. Battlecry, the next Draenei you play costs 2 less, but has Overload 2. Which is kind of interesting because some of the, this maybe helps you get towards the top-end Draenei a little bit faster. So something like a Velen can come down pretty quickly on turn 5.
There's mana cheating, and then there's mana loaning because
exactly, yeah. You're just kind of
you have to pay it back at some point.
Yeah, you're mortgaging future turns, but like if you get that big turn a little bit faster, that might be worth it with some. You probably want to use this on one of your bigger, beefier Draenei.
I mean, just using it with Cosmonaut is already insane enough because on turn 5 you can just literally play the wave if you have a board. So. Yeah. Wave of Nostalgia. It was completely like garbage at the beginning, and now it's just like its stonks are just going up massively.
I mean, you give Shaman some tokens, and that type of effect is going to be strong.
Yeah. Hello. New location. Okay.
All right. Farseer Nobundo. Look at that guy. Death Rattle. Open the Galaxy's Lens. It absorbs the power of the next spell you cast. I don't know what that means. The Galaxy's Lens spell burst absorbs the spell's power.
So
that's not a location,
you can cast another spell then? Like you play a Meteor Shower, it has the Meteor Shower and the location.
And then you use the location to cast the spell. So it's basically like it's a brand for your next spell.
Yeah, and then you also have 2 durabilities on it, so you can use it in the future as well.
Okay, so you want to. I mean, that's what you want to hit the Nebula with, right? Double cast that bad boy.
Yes.
That's.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking forward to. All right.
Wait, I have to worry about this. Oh no. This is what I'm going up against.
I have to worry about building a deck around it too. We all have our problems.
All right, Murmur, 6 mana, 6/6 elemental. Your battlecry minions cost 1, but immediately die after being played. Okay, what are they cooking here? What is on the menu, and how much am I going to hate this?
I mean, yeah, just low. Oof.
So
what
this
are some
is
good battle cries that you want?
So it's like the trick with this card is number 1, it has to be on the field in order to get the value. So it's like post 6 mana, how exactly do you utilize the battle cries to the biggest efficiency?
Right. And you also like, because it's going to be a high priority kill target, so you need to have some mana beyond the 6 to like actually get some battlecry value, right?
So here's an idea I'm thinking of, and this is a bit of a Christmas land situation, but just work with me. Imagine your deck is empty, you play this, you have all the asteroid cards, and then you just draw a card and then just potentially kill your opponent.
Okay,
so
sure.
It's like, imagine like a late game shaman, maybe there's something with like Hemet Nesingwary or something, but the other cards being 3 mana, it's probably a bit too crazy.
It's the second Hemet Nesingwary reference we've had today, so that's how you know we've gone off the rails.
But yeah, there's got to be something with this, like late game shaman. I mean, worst case scenario, you just activate a bunch of battle cries. Maybe you have like some, health you're sitting on for a bit because you've got Frosty Decor to kind of help like set up some defensiveness to kind of support this.
Yeah, I think that what you really want to do with this is something that maybe gives you immediate damage where you don't care about the body. Something similar to like the final instance of Astalor in the past, or maybe gives your minions in hand a buff, gives you some like value back into hand, rather like obviously you don't want to do this with a big battle cry that has big stats because then you're just kind of wasting the stats.
No, Shutter Block. Oh god, it's just Shutter Block.
Well, yeah, but you already have like a way to you already have a way to generate a 1-mana Shutter Block, right? I think you want to go bigger than that.
Yeah, but you can kind of like, like the turns where it's like really awkward to get the Shutter Block out. So like just making another 1-mana Shutter Block on top of that, I think that's pretty important.
Yeah. And
then you also have the location that draws Battlecry minions. So I feel like you're always gonna have like a Battlecry. And actually, that's an important question. Hat, how does this work with the location if a minion is discounted? Would it go to 0 or is it just going to go to 1?
No idea.
I think that this would be the more recent effect, so it would just set
because
it
it's a static effect, it would override it. So yeah, so they're always going to be 1 mana unless you can discount it after playing this card. So I don't think there's any way of making them 0 mana.
No, but I don't think you need 1.
You don't need 2 setup cards in order to make. Yeah, it's already good enough by itself. Well, but yeah, there's some insane
if you have the right battle cries, I think it could be. You also could benefit from maybe battle cries that summon other minions, right? Like there's a lot of elementals that summon friends alongside them. So you kill the upfront minion, and then you just get the benefit of the token minions that come on board.
Oh wait, yeah, because you have the like the prairie farm or the prairie cow, for example.
Or even just like a lamplighter, getting that down for 1 to get that last burst.
Ooh,
a scar.
Oh god, wait, yeah. Okay, good thing Shutter Block doesn't go face.
Yeah, Kalimos is in rotation as well. So like, there's definitely some big things that you can do with this, maybe slightly ahead of the curve within even just elemental shamans, and he's an elemental himself, so like double benefit there.
Paladin, Interstellar Wayfarer. Okay. 4 mana, 4/2 Divine Shield, Battlecry, reduce the cost of your Librams by what? Wait, they're bringing back Librams?
My friend, as a wild gamer, they've been here all along. We just have more of them now, so now you get to reduce the cost of more Librams over the course of the game and have more cost reduction effects potentially at your disposal. So very cool. It's a fan favorite mechanic, I think. So happy to see that coming back, and we've got at least 1 new Libram. We'll see.
Yeah, Libram of Divinity. Give a minion +3/+3. This costs 0. If this costs 0, return this to your hand at the end of your turn.
Excuse me? So you're going to want to use that weapon to also Interstellar Starslicer, Battlecry, and Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of your Librams this game by 1. You play all of your Libram cost reducers, and you've got yourself infinite Librams of Divinity. No.
I mean, this luckily is just like a +3/+3 and like and nothing more. But it being 0 mana is kind of crazy. But if you don't have it at 0 mana, I feel like it kind of limits you a little bit.
Right. So
it's a little bit balanced in that perspective. But
yeah, I think like even just 1 weapon gets you halfway there, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So because it's Death Rattle and Battlecry, so you get you have a lot of swinging to do with that weapon because it has 3 durability. So you're not necessarily playing the Libram on curve, but you can get a lot of like late game value with this because that's where it's going to be most relevant. And you 0 mana +3/3 every turn is pretty impactful. It's 0 mana 3 damage,
especially with Paladin because it's got like all the lifesteal and taunts. So like once it sustains the board, it just doesn't let go. And then you've got another aura card actually, 6 mana Celestial Aura. while you have exactly 1 minion in play, its attack and health are 10. Excuse me. Last 3 turns.
Okay, so just you know,
Okay.
1 minion every turn.
Deckhand. Hello. Yeah, the one mana 10.
Why would you go there
charge.
immediately?
Because
For the
I was already thinking of hand buff Paladin because of the weapon. I was gonna make a joke about it, and now some of these cards are just in my head. But yeah, there's like Life Seal, there's Taunt, but yeah, charge.
Oh my god, our games today are already stressing me out.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm already I'm cooking some pretty dastardly things. I feel sorry for you.
Okay, there we go. More Libram support. That's what I want to see. Slow
we
things
go.
down a little bit, Clark. Don't get too crazy. Interstellar Researcher, Battlecry, and Spellburst draw a Libram. So we've only seen 1 Libram so far, but it's a good one to have ready to go once it's at 0 mana, right? But it looks like we've got a couple more as well. And being able to fetch them, as well as potentially fetch 2 of them because of the Spellburst, is pretty good. Especially, you reduce the cost of the Librams, you draw them with the Battlecry,
They can
Spellburst,
literally be a
they can
machine.
chain themselves.
Yeah.
Especially Libram of Clarity here. Draw 2 minions. If this costs 0, give them
That seems
+2,
really good.
+1. Yeah.
That seems really good. Consistent minion draw, and like Paladin's always been a class that I feel like if it has good card draw, it can almost do everything. So it's like this is just one of those cards where like you're probably just gonna run like a Libram package and then just like have like specific minions that you want to like play out for like imagine this with like a Pipsy or something.
Yeah.
Or you just draw a bunch of like with Kangor, Dancing King, for example. You can play this in like a big Paladin. Although there are a little bit of dyssynergies, but still, drawing minions, never sleep on that.
Yeah, especially drawing cards for 0 mana. That's usually pretty good in.
And it also has a plus side when it's 0 mana. Like, what are they thinking here? They really want us to discount this to 0. This speaks to me, but...
Right. Well, yeah, but it works for me too because it's like you're drawing cards for 0 mana, but like they're kind of value generators with the Librams that feel like they're slower building than just making a 10-10 deckhand and shoving it to your opponent's face like you want to do.
Yeah, and then there's this other Libram. Was it Libram?
Potato.
So 6 mana, Libram of Faith. Summon 3 3/3 Draenei with Divine Shield. If this costs 0, give them Rush. Okay, I get it. They want this to be just 0 mana Librams.
Yeah, this one takes a little bit of effort to get there though, right?
For sure, yeah.
6 cost
It's not going to
reductions
be easy.
is a lot different than 3 or even 4 like we saw with the previous ones, but the payoff's pretty good. And you know what, you want this maybe, I don't know, you pay 3 mana for this, you're pretty happy to get 9/9 stats with Divine Shield on there.
It being a holy card, I mean, I don't really think there's like a way of doing this, but imagine running like a holy cowboy or something in order to kind of like skip the the turns. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you're gonna do that anyway, right? Because all of these spells are holy anyway, so, why not get a little bit of extra help to get them to 0? So that's pretty nice.
Well, this other spell isn't a holy spell though. Discover or Orbital Satellite. Discover a Draenei. If you've played an adjacent card this turn, discover another. Value. I mean, always good to have extra. I mean, with the Draenei in particular, like setting them up and having like more of them that combo into each other, like just having more value from the spells give you more minions. I feel like this can have some potential too.
Or the combo into the Prophet Velen, because a lot of them have battle cries and death rattles, so it gives you more fuel for that big bomb that you want to drop and potentially build towards anyway. Hello.
Ooh, Yrel coming back. Okay.
Oh man, Yrel's a fan favorite in my community, so I think there will be a lot of people happy to see.
Would you like to take the honors?
Absolutely. Yrel, Beacon of Hope. She's a 5 mana 4/3 with Rush and Death Rattle. Get 3 different Librams from an older timeline.
You know, I was literally about to say in the previous slide, there has to be something that they're doing to bring back Librams from the past.
Right.
And oh boy, let's go.
I mean, yeah, there's some fun. Like, obviously, there's the recursive value from like Libram of Wisdom, where you could just you can dump that on, can propagate some damage with the Death Rattle effect, bringing it back to hand. But there's also Libram of Hope, that big beefy drop that you can just hit for some big healing and an 8-drop. I'm excited for this one, and not just because of the character, but because it actually looks pretty fun. It looks like a really good payoff for the Libram package in general, because you do all that work in the early game to build up the cost reduction. You get yourself to a Uriel, and you start cashing in on some of that immediately, right? It's basically like Death Rattle, draw 3.
And then you have the one mana spell that can literally discover extra copies of this. So like getting extra copies of this is probably not even going to be that uncommon.
That's
so
true.
That's just
true.
a lot of value that Libram Paladin is going to get. Oh man, what is?
You also bring it back. You get that Death Rattle in the Prophet Velen too. So
this man studied and I did not.
well, no, I just tunneled in on one specific card because that was the one I was two specific cards because that was the one I was excited about.
Okay, well, what's this one? Lumia, 6 mana, 9/9. Nice. Lifesteal, after your hero takes damage, they become immune for the rest of the turn?
Wait, so after a hero, so you can't bash your opponent in the face multiple times, but you also can't get bashed in the face multiple times.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good payoff.
I feel like this is something that stops aggro in its tracks, right?
Almost entirely. I mean, this
Because
is almost
it
like
also-
the Titan, for example.
Right.
Like, you just play this, and it's like, you have to play my game now.
It's a Titan for your face, but also it has lifesteal too. So it's just like they have to get through this minion if they want to start sending more damage upstairs. But then like that damage that they're sending into the minion heals you. So it's like
if you
if
think
you drop
about it,
this is I read this card as a 9/9 Reno Jackson, right, against aggro right now.
the way I kind of look at this card, like outside of, the lifesteal and all of that, it's like you have to trade into the board now.
Right.
Where it's like, it's actually incentivizing board-based gaming, which I 100% love, but I wonder if...
You just talked about sending a 10/10 deckhand to my face. What are you talking about?
I want to break the meta, and then there are other times where I actually want to have fun, but it's an ebb and flow. But yeah, like this having lifesteal and just sticking around, like 6 mana 9/9, like this just feels like an upside, Like
Yeah, like I was looking for the downside of getting a 6 mana 9/9.
like Paladin doesn't need to go face. It can just sit there and
yeah,
wait.
but then also if this is your only, this is your minion that's going face, you're going to win that race, right? You're dealing 9. The opponent is likely dealing less than 9 every
That's
turn.
actually a good point. Yeah, and if they can't deal with the 9/9, like their minions are just gonna sit there. They're not just gonna immediately trade into this because it also has lifesteal if you're at a low health total. This really is just kind of like a 6 mana Reno Jackson for Paladin. Thank you for the note. I'll probably put this in my deck now.
No, don't do that. No, save it till after our games, then you can start playing around with it.
So I'll tell you what my first idea is, because after looking at all of these cards, I really feel like the rogue starships are going to be really insane. Like with the consistent card draw, with all the mana cheating that it's doing, I feel like some of these starships are going to get to ridiculously big pretty early.
Yeah, but like you're developing all of those minions. I'm just gonna drop a Lumia onto the board, and you're just going to be stopped dead in your tracks. Like, what are you gonna do then? I don't know. I'm most excited about the return of Librams though, because over the years of playing Wild, I've constantly just would dive back into playing Libram Paladin because it feels like I don't know, it's got that nostalgic feel to it, but then now there's a new take on it while combining that nostalgia to it. So I'm really excited about the URL Beacon of Hope to cash in on some of that incremental value.
In Paladin, there's all the Libram support as well, but I wonder if there's like a way of making like some kind of Lanessa combo, because I've been obsessed with Lanessa recently. And unfortunately, like there's only like the 1 mana spell that discovers like extra value, but I mean, hell, imagine putting in like the rogue cards and then you have like all those discounts. Maybe there's like a way of discounting like a Libram with like Seashill, for example, and then casting it twice with Lanessa. I'm giving you a lot of dangerous ideas. Luckily, we could both use this.
Yeah,
but...
no, Clark, I need you to stop sending damage at my face so that I can get these Librams reduced. What are you? We got to showcase the cards, not the combos. We've already seen Lanessa combos. Let Uriel have her time. And then in Shaman, we've got some elementals doing some battle cry shuffling. I like the idea of, building up a big, asteroid field that we, force the opponent to navigate through, kind of dealing a bunch of damage in the process, having a good time. I like cards that you play them, you get a minion on board, and then you just kind of sit back and wait. I like turning a Hearthstone into kind of an idle game while I wait for my damage to accrue and
investing into the board.
Exactly. Make some trades, do that, whatever, and then slowly over time, whittle away at the opponent's life total. So I'm excited for a chance to be able to do that with the Shaman cards.
All right, you ready to play?
I guess so. I don't know. The way you've been talking, I'm not sure.
I'm at least ready to look beyond and get a good look at these card arts. So worst case scenario, we're going to be looking at some pretty arts.
Yeah, and we get a chance to play them early, so hopefully we'll have some fun games.
But I'm ready to break Rogue. A lot.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen here. It's finally time for somebody to break Rogue. Good job, Clark.
I mean, hey, it's been on the bottom of HSReplay for so long. Like, it's time for Rogue to come back into the forerunner of the meta.
Sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
I sleep very well at night, by the way.